Chuck E. Cheese can't cease and desist nothing. It's a rat casino, bro.
A rat casino.
That's Chuck E. Cheese. It's a rat casino. It's a child casino. I didn't realize it. It's a child casino. Chuck E. Cheese is a child casino, bro. You literally gamble. You're gambling for prizes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Ivy League Podcast, where smart people talk about dumb stuff. My name is Lonnie. I also go by Lonnie IIV, and I have a master's in business administration and a undergrad degree in human factor psychology.
My name is Sam. I have my degree in aerospace engineering, and I'm fighting to keep upright in the back of this car.
Yeah. Wow.
Alt text Lonnie just right to
You know what? I wasn't going to see a chiropractor today, but not anymore after that little.
Yeah, I'm not a bad driver. I'm one of the best drivers here. Go ahead. Speak.
Hey, hi, Dukin. My name is Jennings Brower. I got caught cheating on my SATs.
Whoa.
And eventually got my
wait,
2.6
are you
GPA
lying?
from high school. No. Got my
You got caught?
Got my
What?
I'm trying to finish my intro here, Lonnie. I'm gonna need a straight face, please. And I got my 2.5, 2.7 GPA in high school up to a 3.6 by the time I graduated college without using any focus meds, and I do have combined ADHD, and that is
What
me.
degrees did you get?
I got a degree in finance.
Ooh.
That is the degree I got. Because I'm from the South, and acting is not a thing in the South. Not in Jacksonville, Florida anyways. And my dad always was a financial planner, whether he was with Lincoln Financial or Brower Financial. Shout out Brower Financial. And we were always able to live a comfy, happy life. And we got to travel the world a little bit. So finance seemed to be the, maybe not the happiest, but the most safe
Most
and
options.
comfortable.
Okay. This episode is going to be all about breakups and such.
Bro, that car is lifted and its license plate says, bro, what?
You have to tell people what you're looking at. They can't see
We're looking at a Toyota Highlander that is probably like a foot and a half lifted on some good off-road tires.
Oh, dang. She was
But the
high.
license plate was one of those beautiful black and gold license plates, which I'm going to get from my car. But it says all caps, bro, what? And I'm not impressed.
So for a little bit of context, if you're not watching, we're doing another car cast. You guys said you very much enjoyed it. We very much enjoyed doing it. And it was as stressful for me, driving and holding a microphone in one hand. And I just, as you can tell, even by my explanation, I am stressed. Also, last time I was riding dirty the whole time.
Crazy.
Had no clue. My tags were expired, and last time we were doing it, I was like, if the cop pulls us over, it's gonna be because we have a microphone and a phone on the mount. Turns out, he also could have pulled us over because my tags were expired, but I fixed it. Apparently, they send you the new tags in the tax collector envelope. So I was just.
But you have to pay your taxes to get those.
You do have to pay your taxes and pay off any parking tickets. Anyways, this is the Ivy League Podcast. Jennings, roll the intro music.
The Ivy League.
You know?
A quick word from our sponsor, Subaru. If are you a lesbian? Are you a lesbian and you want a car?
I like girls.
Then you should drive a Subaru. Love. It's what makes Subaru a lesbian car and safe. My improv goes down the drain the moment I have to do solo improv.
Every kiss begins with Subaru.
Yeah. All right, guys. This is the Ivy League Podcast, and we are doing a car cast today. If you can hear that whirring in the background, that is my rear tires making a strange noise, or it is my transmission fluid. Who's to say?
Is that what that could have been?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But I think it's just getting rotated or something like that.
Sure.
But we're back here with
They're rotating
Jennings.
right now.
They're rotating, but they need to get rotated, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're back here with Jennings Brower. We are driving to Santa Monica at noon in Los Angeles traffic. So there's probably inevitably, last time we saw a car on fire.
We did.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was on fire.
LA, baby.
It was on fire.
You know, I went to New York City recently, and I realized there's two things you can say that work perfectly for either New York or LA. If you're in LA and something crazy happens, it could be good, bad, ugly, out of this world. You can say, LA, baby. If you're in New York City, guess what? NYC, baby. It works both ways.
It does.
It explains anything and everything.
Well, we do that back home. Me and Jennings are both from Jacksonville, Florida, so it was like, that's Duval for you, you know? So you just kind of say wherever you're from, and then that's the name of the place we're from, baby.
You also could just sing the hook, in New York.
True.
And that also explains everything.
This is very true. So Jennings, you're, most people know, but a quick little dive on you. Jennings was here on the very first episode of the IIV League Podcast. Now he's back on episode 15, bro.
Yeah.
Wow, we're
Episode
stacking
1-5.
episodes like
Yes,
dollar
sir.
bills.
Yes, sir.
We've made no money on
No.
this.
You guys know that if you make it past 7 episodes, you will be a successful podcast?
Is that
did you read that somewhere? Or did
Yeah.
you make that up? Because I'd like it if you read it somewhere.
I do know that most podcasts quit around the 7th episode. I just am manifesting for you guys that y'all are going to succeed.
because so far we're on the 15th.
Yeah, we
so
made it twice
we did
as far.
So you
7
guys have made it
twice. So we
twice
should
as
have
far.
2 successful podcasts.
Yeah,
And
that
so
puts us
far
in
we
the
have 1 that's not.
That puts us in the tooth percentile.
The tooth?
Tooth.
God, percentiles.
Percentile?
You know how I'm not good at fractions?
Uh-huh.
Percentiles are a whole nother world that mess me up.
Do you guys think that the tooth fairy and dentists work with tooth percentiles?
Ooh.
Okay, people have yelled at me.
It's like,
Thank
anyway.
you, Sam. Thank you so much.
Honestly, I just want to go back to the
Jennings
fact that you got
cheating.
caught cheating. How did you cheat, and then how did you get cheating?
So
or how did you get caught?
Yeah, how did you get trotted?
I think I got through it was either the SAT or the ACT. Let me just say, I don't like standardized tests. I don't think they
Who
work
does?
for everybody.
Who gets turned on by standardized
Yeah,
tests?
who says, oh boy,
Yeah,
it's the SAT
Gonna get my
day.
jollies
Listen.
on to this SAT.
Whether you guys are watching or listening, doesn't matter how much prep you do. If you're an overthinker like me, and I overthink like crazy when I do things I don't love, like school, you will think yourself right out of a right answer. One of my math teachers was like, Jennings, you're okay at math. You just keep second guessing.
Dang.
Jennings, you're really mid-level at math.
Yeah.
Jennings, you're really average at math.
Yeah,
but
you're
you
top of the bell curve, baby.
You literally second guess yourself out of the right answer. Your
Yeah.
first answers 90% of the time are right, and then I see you when you write your work, you overthink it, then do it wrong, and then get the wrong
Right.
answer. But you've proven how you got the wrong answer, which is hilarious.
Yeah, this is how I got this is how I got where I'm not supposed to be.
So, because I was an overthinker, I oftentimes would not finish the section of these standardized questions.
Yep.
And somebody during the lunch break was like, oh, you don't get points for a wrong answer, so still just fill in the bubbles. If you have 10 questions left, when in doubt, choose C and just bubble all of C. So
Yeah.
Jennings thinks there's only one proctor. There's like 30 kids taking this standardized test. Who's going to see? I'm a slick guy, no problem. When I tell you all, this man teleported. Ooh, because I went back on the scan trying to go bloop, 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 just real quick as fast as I possibly could.
Oh wait.
Oh.
You mean so like time's up, and then you went
From a
like, to
previous section.
Yeah.
Time was up because
Oh
you
my
can't go back. Yeah.
God.
So I wasn't cheating by looking at someone else's answers.
Yeah, I thought you were looking at somebody else's answer.
No, I cheated by trying to go back and any of the empty things.
And
So
fill in.
in my mind, I think one of two things happened. Either one, he did see me flip back in the Scantron to go back and bubble, or he had seen kind of where my previous Scantron had finished, and then all of a sudden, magically, there's just a row of C's.
Yeah.
So one of those two things happened. When I say he went from the front of the classroom, I look down, bubble, 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 look up, he's gone. And you know that sweat of,
Oh.
he's right
yeah.
behind me, isn't he?
Ooh.
Kind of moments. That movie moment
Dang.
happened, and he was behind me, and he asked me to get up and leave. And I called my mom and cried.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it's not necessarily cheap to take these stupid standardized tests.
Yeah.
And I admitted, because I'm a bad liar. I'm a great actor, a bad liar. And I was like, Mom, I'm having a panic attack. And she goes, all right, well, come home. We'll prepare again. We'll do the next option of doing it. So that's how I got caught in the standardized tests.
Wow.
Oh, I thought you brought a paper that had all the answers
Yeah,
on it.
Nah,
Yeah.
dog. I don't go that deep.
I thought Jennings was slick with it. I
Nope.
was like, Jennings.
Dang.
But then again, getting caught. Do you know how many people cheated and stole throughout high school? I was such an idiot. I was so dumb. I thought you weren't allowed to do those things. And it turns out almost
Yeah.
everybody else did.
Brother. So my brother Darby, middle child, God bless him. He is just book smart. He was the popular kid. He was the cool kid. He was a sport kid. Everything. But
He's
man,
my financial advisor.
and he's mine as well. And he just didn't have to study, or at least study as hard as I had to. Maybe it's because he was more confident, and I don't know. He just got it with book smarts better. But he would sit in the back of the same Spanish class that I was sitting in the front end, paying attention, taking notes.
Yeah.
I would get a C, where he'd get an A+. So either homeboy was a great cheater, or he just
You never asked
got
him?
it. No.
Hmm.
No, all I know is Darby got much better grades consistently than I did, and now I'm a creative.
Oh.
Yeah.
He said,
Who got the
"And
last laugh now,
I
Darby?"
travel while he's sits in an office. The fool, the schmuck.
It was very funny, and I think Darby's very okay with me saying this. Darby doesn't love working in finance, but he said, hey, as long as you and your creative friends like Lonnie keep doing well and you keep being able to, introduce me to more clients, I would much rather have a smaller clientele list, but just be able to support you guys and what y'all do, and then, live a fun life. I'm like, brother, I love that for you.
I'll take it. Also, my car sounds like a bomb right now.
Let me just...
I don't think you can hear it.
I don't think so.
Luckily,
You can.
There's no smells, so that's good.
The good news is Sam is really good at impressions. So, Sam, if they could hear what the car sounds like, what would it sound like?
Go ahead, Sam.
Beep, 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 beep.
Self-destruct in 5, 4, 3.
It's probably fine.
2.
All right, so Jennings, maybe not everybody knows, but you do acting. You are out here in LA. You are my roommate. And we met back in Florida, realizing we both do adjacent content. I do God content. You do
Lucifer.
You do Lucifer
I don't know if I
content.
would say no smell.
That's not mine.
Uh-huh.
That's not me.
Sure, buddy.
That's not me, because that's never happened before.
No,
That's not,
that gas leak smell is not this car.
yeah. All right, so there is we are smelling a slight smell.
I want to say it's this Tioga.
Yeah,
I hope so, because my car has made noise and been loud, but it has never smelled before.
This car looks like a much older RV that
Yeah. I
might
think
that's
have
what
a
we're
gas
smelling.
leak.
it's an RV that's burning dirty.
And if we get past this RV and we keep smelling it, there's going to be lots of concern, and this podcast might have to end early.
Honestly, you guys might have just seen that. They probably cook meth in there.
Is the smell clear?
I've seen Burning Bad.
It's
Breaking
in lighter.
Bad.
It's going away. Smell's going away, right?
It was the UV.
We passed
It was the
it.
RV.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
smell
was the
there.
RV.
It was
Anyway.
the RV. Good, guys. Good. We avoided the first incident of the podcast. We are making it. Woo!
We've made it 10 minutes in, and our car has not exploded.
It's only been 2
Crushing
minutes.
it.
Yes.
Crushing
Probably
it.
right.
All right.
Jennings is an actor out here in Los Angeles. Ever since you moved out here from Florida, you've been doing phenomenal. You're traveling all the time, doing shoots, getting booked, getting work. What is one piece of advice, before we get into the next section of the podcast, we're going to talk all about breakups. What is one piece of advice you have for new actors or people chasing down a creative career?
That's a fantastic question. The best thing I can give you guys, Justin Bieber said never say never.
True.
If you want to be a believer, you got to believe in yourself.
You got to believe in your
Nada.
I'm actually really grateful for my degree in finance because I had internships in finance, and as a 23-year-old trying to sell life insurance, you get said no to easily 99% of the time. That was probably one of the best things that could have prepared me for acting, because acting, auditions, modeling, castings, no matter what it is still like a solid 70 to 90%, not fail rate, but rate of hearing no instead of yes. So
Yeah.
you've got to be really passionate about what you do. You need to not be in it just to pay your bills.
Oh.
Definitely have a side gig, because if your only purpose of being in acting or modeling is to pay bills, it's going to stress you out during auditions, during castings. That's going to show. So be resilient and hard-headed in the way of you're going to pursue your dreams no matter what. And just remember that every time you get in the door for an audition or a casting, that's a new opportunity for a casting director to see you. So a no is not necessarily a no. They have seen you, and maybe they'll think of you something for you later on in a different role. So every opportunity is a good opportunity, even if you don't hear back. So be resilient.
So you're saying be resilient, and also it sounds like you're saying you do your best, which is similar to me. Whenever you don't put all the pressure on yourself to perform.
Correct. Also, you guys, casting directors want you to succeed. They want you to be the person that they book and they cast and they hire, and that's it. You know what I mean? So go in there and have fun. Today I was in my stunt class, and Andy Chen, who is the body double, stunt double for Jackie Chan, and an amazing stunt coordinator, he said, we want to cast and hire people that have good attitudes and good personalities. He said somebody can have all the skill in the world, but if they don't have a great attitude or a great teamwork mindset, they're going to choose the person with a little bit less skill, who they can coach up, who is coachable, who is ready to learn, who is ready for constructive criticism and to have a good time on set. So remember, we are playing professionally, and keep that in mind too.
Yep. Sam, don't let me forget to touch on rejection and the breakups in the next piece, because the rejection part is very important. But before we get into that section, another quick ad break from our sponsors. Tesla. Please give us a Tesla.
Beautiful.
Elon
What
Musk.
would you do for a Tesla?
I would. Oof. I almost made a joke. That
Yeah,
is
what would you do?
Poorly timed.
Ooh.
I would work hard. I'd work hard. I'd eat right, and I'd never stop earning my stripes.
What an awful answer.
I will let you all know that our sponsors have paid us to use other companies' jingles for their sponsorships.
Big shout out to Tesla. Are you tired of guzzling gas all the time? Do you wish there was an easier way to run up your electricity bill? Well, introducing the brand new Model X from Tesla. All you have to do is spend $80,000, plug it into your home, short out your electrical grid, and you don't have to go to a gas station ever again. You tired of people without houses asking you for money? No longer, because they don't put the superchargers near gas stations, where people who do not have homes tend to solicit. Tesla, a green future, and no more solicitors.
Are you being paid back by the electrical company because you already have solar panels on your house? Get a Tesla. Use that excess energy somewhere good. Get on the road. Tesla.
Cause traffic, because public transportation is underutilized, doesn't need to be explored further, and honestly isn't doing any good for anybody. We need more cars on the road. Tesla.
Let AI drive for you. Tesla.
I wonder how long we can keep doing these before we get like a cease and desist.
Next one is going to be Chuck E. Cheese. I'm excited for that one. Chuck E. Cheese can't cease and desist nothing. It's a rat casino, bro.
A rat casino.
That's Chuck E. Cheese. It's a rat casino. It's a child casino. I didn't realize it. It's a child casino. Chuck E. Cheese is a child casino, bro. You literally gamble. You're gambling for prizes.
Wait, how are you gambling?
Would you say most
because
arcades?
You take a coin and you don't necessarily win a prize. It's only like it's a skill. Like a lot of it's like a game of like chance or like skill to like get.
What about the ones that are games?
Or people are
just
bad at video games.
Yeah.
Then you have to lose and gamble every time. You're not going to win. If you're bad at math, you're not going to win at the casinos either.
Isn't that how addiction starts?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got to start them young.
Like somebody said, now what if we had a casino for kids? And that's how Chuck E. Cheese was born.
Yeah.
It is literally the Walmart Disney.
Ugh.
The Walmart Disney.
That tastes weird, doesn't
All
it?
right, yeah. Don't put things in my mouth.
Without my consent.
Yeah. Without my express written consent. Little beepage over there. We're out in Santa Monica right now. We've driven. We got off the highway. We're cruising around. It's kind of foggy out here, but perfect time to talk about how to break up. All right. So as the relational experts that we are,
absolutely,
we've all been in so many relationships. I think combined,
so many.
Combined, probably like 5.
Gotta be at least
100.
At least one. Gotta be.
So recently.
Relationships.
Recently, I've been I've been trying to like, go on dates and stuff like that.
Wow.
But here's the tough part. I'm a people pleaser,
Indeed.
as some of you may know.
Retweet.
So that means that like if I'm talking to somebody and I'm not getting the vibe and I'm like, it's kind of boring, I have a hard time. I kind of just stopped texting and hoping that eventually they stop reaching out too.
Oh, so you're a ghoster.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you look up in the dictionary the term ghosting, you will see a beautiful chocolate man with an orange beanie. Looks a lot like me because we're twins.
Yeah.
It is Lonnie IIV.
Yeah, but so the thing is, I don't believe in ghosting.
Oh.
I don't believe in ghosting. It happens.
You like those people that don't believe in COVID because they never got it, and because they don't believe it doesn't exist.
No. I do it, but I don't like to.
It's like the people that don't believe in like global warming. So they're like, it's hot because it's summertime.
No,
that's why.
Guys, I get it. And
that's why the ice caps are melting.
But I don't like it. It's like ooh, capitalism. I don't believe in it.
Yeah, I don't like when people call me mean things either because I did bad things.
The point is, how do you guys go about? Because I have written a script. I had ChatGPT write me a script.
Okay.
Wow.
I was going to say, I'm so proud of you.
He said, okay. But
he had that compliment preloaded and had to pull back halfway through.
But how have you guys broken up with people in the past? I wanna hear your solutions and then get into. I'll let you hear mine.
Sam, take it away, buddy.
You see, that's the fun part.
There we go.
You see, now why would you do something like break up?
Stop.
That's crazy.
What are you saying?
You know, if you don't like someone, just deal with the consequences until they break up with you.
So do you give them a reason to break up with you, or?
Yeah.
Sam, have you ever broken up with someone before?
No. A boo-womp.
How has this affected any of your current relationships, Sam?
My current relationships are good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I don't need to break up with them. Another way that you can avoid breaking up with someone, completely unrelated, is just gaslight yourself into thinking that everything's fine and dandy.
I've been there. That sounds
completely unrelated.
A little bit
Jennings,
personally toxic. That's okay. Have you thought about therapy?
What?
Have you thought about therapy?
Sam can't afford therapy.
The what?
Therapy.
The what?
These are new words that I'm learning today, folks.
This episode brought to you by BetterHelp.
Should have been.
Or Cerebral. Breaking up with people is never fun. I'm somebody who has a...
So I see Lonnie has figured it out.
I am somebody who has a very guilty conscience since I was a little kid. I say sorry for things that were not my fault.
Like cheating on the ACT.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, someone at lunch break told me that was an option. I was like, oh, cool. But the best way that I found this, and this goes the same for if I ever get pulled over or my car gets towed, like yesterday. And I can say, yes, sir, I do know that there was a fire hydrant there, but the thing was not yellow, and the sign only said, don't park here on Thursdays from 11 to 4 for street sweeping. And I thought the hydrant was maybe expired. But I understand there's a fire hydrant and there's a whole thing there. So I believe that when it comes to breaking up, I try to be as honest as possible. I do try to give a good reason because I have been broken up with in the past, and I've been told it's not you, it's me, which really honestly kind of feels a little bit back to the acting point. Like when you go to an audition, you feel it goes really well, and the casting's like, we loved you, we'll speak with you soon, and you don't hear back, which is what happens when you don't get a role or don't get a call back. And then you just go into a spiraling mental state of what did I do, what could I have done better, what could have I fixed.
But it's like legitimately not you.
Correct.
Like it's like
you would like to think.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Because ultimately, if a thing has started going good and everything, then there was some reason, at least in the other person's mind, where it didn't work out.
Wait, we're talking about acting or dating?
No, dating.
Okay.
So I like to say, okay, I see what you mean. In acting, it can be that it wasn't you and that you just weren't right for the role.
Yeah.
So sorry. It is also possible that you went in not confident that day and whatever
you didn't put
else
on your
happened.
best foot.
Right. So in the dating world, if you get that, I like to give a true reason where I'll say like, hey, I was really excited at the get-go, but because of, hanging out, whatever else, I've kind of felt like there are just energies. Oh yeah.
I'll see the whole thing?
I'll be very transparent and say like, hey, I'm not gonna lie, the spark is just kind of faded, and while I know that people can work in relationships, I'm very straightforward. I'm saying I
Isn't
can
that a lot?
Yeah, that's a whole lot of communicating.
Yes, actually yes, because Lonnie and Doc have both, our buddy Doc, they both helped me with trying to minimize what I say and just be more succinct, whereas I like to give a biblical definition of why it's not working out. Ultimately, I try to give a solid, at least one reason why I just feel like the compatibility is not there long term. Yeah. And I will, but I'll also be honest and say like, hey, but I do enjoy hanging with you. I just don't think romantically this makes sense to me.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
And it always does suck because breaking up is never easy for anybody.
Yeah.
True. Maybe I only speak for myself when I say that, but I try to be as honest and to give a solid reason so that they have that reason, and hopefully that doesn't lead to like overthinking or anything else.
I guess. Okay. Felt. So you hit that. You hit the quan. You hit that kind of.
I looked to see if somebody was dancing.
No, sorry, my brain.
I thought you were rooting somebody on.
Sparked.
We love
I wonder how I'll be as an old person, like
senile.
Really awesome.
Senile at a young age.
Because like, bro, my brain. I've never seen an old person with ADHD. Well, my grandma.
Hi, German Shepherd pup.
The German Shepherd is huge. That woman is. Hello. We're driving through Venice.
That German Shepherd was looking at something else.
Yes. We are driving through Venice now. It's cloudy. It went from like very sunny day to cloudy and overcast out here, and I think it's like, I don't know, it's weird.
Also, make sure you guys leave in the comments how you all go about as we talk about breaking up. Like, what are y'all's techniques?
The techniques for breaking
up.
You
have a list?
Because look, this is what I have found out about me, and is that a cop? It doesn't matter.
Better not be.
Doesn't matter. So what I have found is that like I'll say this, and I don't know. I think it have to be bleeped out, I guess. But I guess a little bit of a maybe trigger warning, I think, as well. But like I realized, I was talking to James about this, but I'm like, in the past I have found myself having dated like women who were, I guess I'll just say like very emotionally unstable and usually involved in self-harm to some extent. And a lot of times, some of like the tape that would play in my head, or not even in my head, the things I'd hear in these relationships were kind of like, because I was a fixer. I love people a lot, and I like to be needed, and so I always wanted to like help people. and whatnot. And so then you get paired up with somebody who
needs a lot of help.
And like almost drawn to each other like magnets, and all of a sudden I find myself in a relationship with someone who's like, you're kind of the only reason I keep living, like, you know, like, oh, without you I would have been gone a long time ago. And I'm like, okay. And you start to feel like you're pouring you just feel like you're pouring like water into a bucket, not with a hole in it, but with almost sometimes like no even bottom to it.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like no matter what I did, I was unable to help change them. And that was like a very tough lesson to learn. Because I just wanted to help. I'm like, you could be whoever you want to be. You can be healthy. You can be this. And so it was not once, but like two, maybe it was like twice that I found myself in these kind of relationships. And it was just like, it stressed me the hell out, got me so anxious because I'm like, I can't help this person. I can't do it. I want to help people, but this is like the worst possible pairing almost.
Sounds like in a way that y'all had a little bit of a trauma bond, maybe, because of trying to help them through all the things you'd help them through, and maybe there had been some progress made, so you felt like, cool, I've helped.
Yeah.
Maybe there's potential for even more progress, which kind of can, in that toxic attachment way, keep you attached and feel like you have to be there.
Oh, absolutely felt like I have. Because my headspace was like, if I'm not there, who is? And if I'm not there, they're going to do something terrible, and then, and then what? Then it's my fault.
And then it's on you, yeah.
Yeah, that's on my fault because I could have helped and I didn't,
You're going to be the talk of the town.
Oh,
I'm going to say two things real quick.
Yeah.
Number one, if you are somebody who
my hands are sweating.
Is in a relationship or has been in a relationship where someone has said, I don't know what I would do without you, I don't know, if you know that they have a history of either self-harm or anything else, the best thing I would say, number one, that is a red flag, and try to safely...
Proper boundaries, if you can find a way to suggest help for them or get them help or reach out to somebody for them. Resources. I would say do that. But also, if you are somebody who's ever had any kind of background in self-harm or anything like that, you guys, please don't be afraid to get help. Mm-hmm. Getting help is not meant to be scary. It's not meant to feel like you're trauma dumping on someone. There are professionals that can help you. Yeah.
And I'm a big believer in a relationship being two strong, independent people who are very happy with their lives, who feel they can progress in their own lives by themselves if they had to. But it would be nice maybe to have somebody else, as a team, as a campsite.
Yep.
But please just make sure, whether it's stuff from your past or personal things, you are not putting that on someone else, because ultimately that's something that, with professional help, can be your responsibility and something that you can handle with help, and help is out there for you.
I mean, everybody, he says all the time, but I'm like, everybody should be in therapy at some level, at some point. It's not always necessarily like it needs to be an ongoing all the time thing, but I have seen supreme improvement in my life anytime I get in there and go, and all my other friends. I mean, it's just like getting the map for your life kind of thing. Like, you just get to know yourself better, and when you know yourself, like, if you don't know yourself, what do you know? Nothing. The answer is nothing. But to drive back into it, me as a people pleaser trying to break up with someone has been difficult, to say the least, because it's like, because even when I would find a way to be like, hey, I can't do this anymore, they would find a way to kind of rope me back in.
Yeah.
Not because of like, they weren't like, obviously they weren't like evil people, they weren't being rude or mean or anything. It's just like, legitimately they are trying to survive,
Yeah.
Like, somebody drowning needs something. And then the last thing you want to do is lose the thing that like has been helping you maybe the most, or like bringing the most sense of comfort, So then whenever you finally detach and back out, it's just the whole thing.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that?
Not really. Maybe more so with friends than like romantic relationships.
Have you had a breakup with a friend, Sam?
Have I had to break up with a friend?
Yeah.
No, I just
That's good.
I just stopped talking to them. And they stopped talking to me. Usually that's how it goes.
Yeah.
The friends that I have to like break off are usually friends that I was never that close with.
Fair.
So it's just like, well, if I stop initiating conversations, they're going to stop initiating conversations. Before you know it, I haven't talked to so-and-so in years.
Okay, so I'll jump back into the whole, because this whole thing is about the breakups and how to do it. So as a people pleaser, I legitimately went to ChatGPT, and I was like, hey, ChatGPT, like, and the thing was, I went on like one date with her, and it was like, boring, didn't really care for it, but I was like, I'm gonna give it a chance. And I just did not feel the spark. But we kept talking for like 2 weeks. And it just did not.
That was your first issue.
Sam, I'm perfect.
Yeah,
Shut up.
yeah. Why'd you
like-
keep talking? You should have told him, hey, listen, that first date was cool and all, but you're ugly and boring, and I don't like you.
Not ugly, just boring.
Did you feel like you had to carry the conversation?
Yes.
Yes. That's a difficult thing, you guys. Like, I understand when people say opposites attract. I think that's only a small part that are maybe opposites, because I really think you have
tell you why you're wrong.
You have someone like Lonnie.
Hello.
Who's a very outgoing social butterfly, spirit of the party, all of that kind of stuff. If you have someone who is kind of the opposite of that,
Reserved.
the antagonist of that, reserved, doesn't really have much to say,
Prefers
X,
to be in
Y,
small
Z.
groups.
I think in a way, like, you don't necessarily want to battle someone to be the life of the party, but in another way, you don't want to like have to grab someone's hand and drag them to do all the things
True.
if that's not what they are into anyways.
When it comes to chemistry, here's like what I found, because like chemistry with people, like just being able to get along with someone and like they just kind of make your brain spark in a way that you like enjoy and you both like share. Like that's kind of like what the chemistry feels like. Like when it like look at me and Liv, like whenever we hang out and go to parties, people are like, you guys are so fun together. Like you guys just bounce and rip off of each other so well. Like me and Ben, whenever we go places, like we just kind of bounce. We usually like wind up fighting, but like still that's a form of like chemistry, and we genuinely still enjoy each other. And I think you have to find someone you do share chemistry with. Yeah. Like again, whether it's like the fun we riff or like we do yell at each other or something like that, but we still enjoy it and it's just like our thing that we vibe with. And I think if there is no chemistry like that, you're like, what are you working with? You know, like what do you really have if you don't have that? I mean, is that accurate? You know, because that's what was lacking. It was like you're smart. You're interesting. I feel nothing.
Yeah. It's
know?
like, it's not a problem with them, it's a problem with us.
Yes.
You know?
It's like to us together, it's like, you're great, I'm great. Together, we have nothing.
Not. Yeah.
Yeah. And together, we've got nothing. So here's the message that ChatGPT kind of crafted for me. It was way too formal for starters, but it hit with it was like,
dear significant other.
Yeah.
It said, hey, I really appreciate the time we've been able to spend together.
I hate that already. I dislike that so much.
Why are you?
Dang. Already.
Why do you hate that?
I mean, you read that sentence, and what does your brain say? If you're talking to someone else,
Yeah, you
and
might as
they
well
send
not
you a
read the
text,
rest of it.
right?
Yeah, like you already
You've
know
gotten
what's
the message.
coming.
That's what I'm saying. I suppose is
It's
you
not
know
a
what's
great
coming.
message
That's
to
cool,
receive.
Shelby.
That's very cool.
You know what's coming if you read that sentence.
Yeah.
Still,
Because what else is coming behind that? Hey, I really appreciated the time we spent together. Let's do it more.
Yeah. I look forward to more adventures. That's just it. That's just
You know
all it
how
says.
weird that you would read that and be like,
Yeah,
I was so scared,
me
but now I'm
too.
so comforted. I don't.
Yeah.
You know.
It said like, I really appreciate the time we've spent, and I very much value transparency and honesty, as I know you do as well. So I have not found the spark that I am looking for, but I appreciate you and wish you all the best.
This is way too wordy.
See, I feel like that's
Way too wordy.
Just when it comes to meaning behind something, I feel like you just said the same thing like 4 times.
Yeah.
I wasn't meaning the computer wrote it, okay?
No. Sorry, ChatGPT. I feel like you just said the same energy was in every single sentence. You just said the same sentence 4 times with different words.
I wonder if people like in the future will get like privy or not privy, but like they'll start to pick up on things like that, and they're gonna be like,
so.
"Wait, you didn't write this? ChatGPT wrote
No,
this.
no, see, 'cause-
I know this because I've been let down this same way 4 different times." You know?
ChatGPT does like use more adjectives than like that I think is necessary. Also, guys, we have arrived out at Santa Monica. We are here at the beach. It is gorgeous. There's overcast and palm trees.
If you guys didn't know, Santa Monica is Spanish for a female Santa Claus whose actual name is Monica.
Santa
Oh.
Monica. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So it's very cool. Yeah, now you do.
I'm like trilingual, Sam. So
Now you're educated.
At least.
Not based on my SAT and ACT scores.
Why are people here right now? Don't these people have jobs?
Brother, it's
You
Is it Monday?
It's Wednesday.
Oh my God, it's Wednesday.
All these unemployed people.
Sorry guys, I've been time
the
traveling
beach.
recently. I forgot what day it was.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been using. But
So Sam, if you had to break up with somebody,
But wait, I want to point out the pieces of what I think works. Because I'm like, I don't want to leave you guys without anything. Because here in the Ivy League, we like to entertain, but also to educate. This is what I wound up revising it to.
A Civic passed by and it has just a fat dent in the front.
That wasn't a dent, brother.
It's missing the bumper.
That's a snub nose. That thing is, that's...
It looks like it ran into a brick wall.
it's okay though. I think the AC still works. That looks like the AC
the AC's hanging out, but it's working. It's a nice black
Maybe
Civic.
that's why he's got his windows open.
Probably
AC
why
don't work.
AC is out. Tail light also out. That person is... Listen, I get it. Bro, you got a car. Like sometimes it's like
the bare definition of a car.
Bro, it is base level functionality. It has instructions that come with how to start it, how to turn it off, and everything.
Hey, if it's got four wheels and it rolls,
I'm
it's a
taking
car.
It gets me from point. I can roll the windows up by hand or otherwise. I'm chilling.
Listen, we respect the fact that people are out here dream chasing. That does not mean that you can afford car maintenance. I get it. I understand.
Listen, if the car is working, the car is working.
Yeah.
Facts.
All right.
So when it comes to the breakup, all I'll say is that I think you need, if you're gonna do it, this is what I've learned because I sent it to a few of my friends. Like, why does it sound so corporate? Well, it's like ChatGPT wrote it. When. Shut up. So what I kind of came down to, I was like, hey, I actually enjoyed the time we got to spend together. However, I didn't really find the spark I'm looking for, but I appreciate you just hanging out nonetheless, and I wish you well. Boom. It's like, no.
So, let me show my eyes. Because I'm also the same way. I like to leave on a positive note. The difficulty is I've never broken up with somebody and not have there still be an entire conversation afterwards.
Oh.
But this is
You're
one. This is
and
one
I
date.
wish you the best, and you can. Okay.
This is
Okay.
so for
So it's
context.
not really
fair.
a breakup.
That's fair. That feels a
feels
little
like
bit.
a breakup for me.
No, but that feels a little bit
Yeah.
better. I just feel like I've had a hookup scenario where, full transparency, Lonnie and I have had this conversation before. I'd gone into it very much like Christian Grey, saying, hey, this is all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for anything
Who's Christian
more
Grey,
serious.
Jennings?
Christian Grey is the main character from 50 Shades of Grey. Have I read the book or watched the movie? I've watched maybe 50% of the first movie, and that's it. All I know is that he's a very structured man. He's got a contract when it comes to hookups.
Tell you what, I couldn't get through more than 50%. Am I right?
Yeah. Hey, yo. Sorry, I was watching with my girlfriend, so anywho, the mistake I realized that I made was that, yes, while I was very comfortable and hey, we kind of verbally agreed that this is what was happening, this is the only thing I was looking for, I made the mistakes of hanging out with her and her mom and introducing her to my friends, and at some point meeting her grandfather, which none of these were good choices. Not that they weren't good choices if I was looking for something serious, but those just led her to believe that there was a lot more investment there than what I had initially said, which, looking back, 1,000%. So that makes sense for a single date. That's a very easy, hey, you're probably wondering how I felt about that first date. Here's the full transparency. Thanks, but.
And I think I was expecting her to kind of go crazy.
Sure.
Which, it would be like, why? Why not? Or whatever the case is. And they were just kind of like, honestly, Sam, I've been busy with work, and you're great. I'm going to just stick to work and get that done, so thanks. And I was like, what? You can just be like, thanks? What? Just normal? And we can still be friends, and I don't have to, coddle you or carry all of your emotional weight?
Now, how long have you been holding off doing this little breakup thing?
2 weeks.
Oh, so this is something we're talking about currently now.
2 weeks.
Not as long as I thought.
How? So we're talking about something that's kind of current.
Not anymore.
Cooking.
Fixed
Great.
it.
You did?
Yeah.
Today?
Nipped it in the bud.
Did they say anything
Before I
about
went to sleep. Yeah, that's what they said. They were like, thanks. You're great.
Well, that's
I
good.
feel the same. Right?
That's very good.
Right? That's trauma speaking.
How long in the past 2 weeks have you been thinking about calling it quits?
Since the first date.
Cool. But now you've got a note saved.
I do. It's saved in notes, and I'm gonna go on so many dates. And after the first one, if it's not it, I'm like, oops. And,
Listen, you guys.
Like you need a star.
But there needs to be like a better screening process too for like these Hinge and Tinder dates.
Correct.
Because like I'm like, oh, they're hot. This will be great. Now I'm like, no, you're going to have to tell me a joke or something. Like, I need to laugh at least one time before we go on a date because I'm not spending money on taking you out somewhere if this isn't going to be like a vibe.
For a little while, weren't you doing like FaceTime dates at first
but
before making the time to get together in person?
Yeah, but I lost my riz on those.
On FaceTime
Like, no, I think so.
dates?
So here's my thing. This is what I was doing. Yeah, because I was like, hey, we'll do like a 5-minute FaceTime. And it'll be a room tour or a talent show. But I think because I lost interest in doing a talent show or a room tour, I no longer care to like put that first. We need to find something else. But a FaceTime date is a good idea because you can immediately kind of screen and be like, do we have chemistry? Do we vibe? Do I want to talk to this person more? Yes or no? But I got to come up with something different because I don't really care to do like a room tour right now.
Yeah.
You know,
you gotta do a little FaceTime date while you're playing a game of Pong. Like, you know the little iPhone games?
That's true. That's
like,
fine.
challenge her to an iPhone game while you're on FaceTime, because then it's like you get the little banter of like, suck it, I got, 4 cups
Battleship.
or
What
whatever.
about Battleship?
Yeah, Battleship.
That
That'd
could
be
work
fun.
too.
And it also doesn't take too long, It's like a 10-minute game.
Yeah.
You get to talk a little bit, banter a little bit, see if they're funny, see if they're cool, see if they're chill.
Honestly,
That's a good idea.
Game pigeon, as soon as you have a number, send a game back and forth.
Yep.
Like anagrams, bro, I have flirted so hard through anagrams before. Like, just by dragging folks. Like... I'm like, you illiterate, no word knowing, stupid
hairline all the way back.
Do you remember those the girls after the party that we were like talking to? Like we had to drop some. Me and Sam went to a party.
Oh, way up in
up in Santa Clara. We went to a party and like there were like these 2 girls needed a ride home. So I'm like, I don't drink, so I'm like, got you. I'll DD for you. And I made one of them cry because I was trying to flirt. But I have 4 siblings.
What'd you say?
I don't remember what I said.
Yeah. Sam, do you remember what you said?
I don't remember. It was one of those things where it was like, they were also kind of, not weird, but it was like, they would, challenge
they were
back.
French.
They would, okay, well, the one that cried was
French.
very,
They're both French. That's why they said they were weird. I was just agreeing with you.
Okay.
Maybe.
But like they would push back, like like you tease a little bit, roast a little bit. They roasted back, like they were playing along back and forth with whatever he was saying, and then out of nowhere she started crying, and I was just like, huh?
Yeah, she's like, I'm seriously gonna start crying, and then I'm like, no, you're not, and then she's like, I started watering. I'm like, okay,
and it wasn't anything like I think it was something about like being an empath. Like she was like, yeah, as an empath, and then Lonnie was, like obviously like mocking it, like, oh yeah, like I'm an empath too, and as an empath, like we're both empaths, and I can tell that yeah. And she was like, no, really, I'm an empath, and he was like, yeah, like I'm an empath too. I don't know, along those lines, just kind of like, oh yeah, me an empath, and then she just started crying, and I was like, huh, where did this all go south?
But I bring it up because I was like,
what you could have done is then say, being an empath, who here had crying energy that you're picking up on? Or is that your own? That doesn't seem very empathic.
So what did
I'm saying you could have fired back at her again.
And made her cry more.
And even further.
You might as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
After that happened, I'm like,
feels with somebody else's feeling. Who else has?
We were sitting in the Taco Bell parking lot, and I'm like, all right, Sam, I'm gonna bring them home now. Night's over.
As soon as she started crying, I was like, yeah, I'm going home.
I'm like, game over.
Yeah.
We're gonna thanks. But I'm just like, I have a tendency, like my flirting style is just like mad banter and like negging. So I have to be careful with that because not everybody likes it. Like my girlfriend from college, Ella. I told this story, but like, because I think that's like it's a fun way. It's just like some banter. I just the competitive nature. Like I like girls who are competitive, and like with her, she was competitive. She was on the volleyball team, and then like I was saying something. She's like, "Oh yeah, so the school actually like it costs like $30,000 a year to go here." I'm like, "No, it's 32." She's like, "It's actually 30. Why would you say it's 32?" I'm like, "No, it's probably 32. You don't know what you're talking about." And then she's like, "No, it's on the website. It's 30." I'm like, "The website's wrong." And then she's like, "Why do you always do this?" And just started crying. And I'm like, and I was like, I thought we were playing a game.
Where did it all go south? The funniest part is they're both wrong. It's actually 55.
Exactly. I don't care. I just argue for fun.
Yeah.
That's
if you get no scholarships.
That is a whole ass car.
Yeah, I have some.
Every year.
That is multiple. That is multiple used cars.
Yeah, so I had to learn that not everybody's flavor is. But then at the same time, like if you can't handle that, it might not be a great fit anyways.
I mean, that could be a fun thing to throw in the bio though.
No, what? If I make you cry, it's not going to work.
No, just in the sense of like, be prepared for
get roasted. Some light roasting.
Yeah. No. Like I flirt by
wrecked.
roasting. You know what I mean? Like I when I used to be on date apps.
No, because if someone comes through and says something crazy to me, I'm going to be upset.
Great.
Someone comes in and say something.
See, now he's just flipping the script. He's like,
so what are we talking about then? What are we talking about then?
Yeah.
What are we talking about then?
No, yeah.
So someone makes you cry, but you can do it to somebody else.
Yeah, I love how at the beginning he was like, yeah, bro, the problem with everyone is they cry too easily. They're too sensitive. And then it's like, okay, well, then put that in there. And it's like, well, no, now I'm sensitive. It's like, make up your mind.
These women are just too sensitive. Like, why are you crying? Like, I'm just sad that you are... Wait, you are a no titty having...
That's what we would say during volleyball games.
He said she had no nipples.
But if someone comes in and says anything about me off rip, I'm gonna be like, why do you hate me? Which obviously they don't because they match with me. But if they said something, I'd be like, you're mean. You're just really mean. I have to start it. That's all.
So if somebody slid into your DMs and they were just like, why do you look like the kind of guy who has a secret third nipple?
I'd be like,
I do.
I'm blocking. It's blocked. I don't care who you
Did you
are.
know this about me?
Wow.
You do?
Yeah, I've got a third
Oh,
nipple.
where?
How do you not know this?
I think
Wait,
you told
really?
me, but I forgot. No, I'm
Can I
scared to
show
look.
the podcast?
I'm scared to look.
Can I show this? Is this gonna get censored?
No, it's probably okay, I guess. You're a guy. No way.
Oh.
Dude, hold on.
Look at it.
Guys, okay, so Jennings lifted up his shirt and like south of his armpit. Is that a nipple, dude?
Yeah.
Are you
Interesting.
sure?
Yeah, my
How do you
brother
know?
has one on the other side.
Why?
Yeah, how do
Whoa,
know? It
you
looks like
guys
a
are like
nipple.
twins.
No, but it's gonna be a mole.
No, but look how it looks like exactly.
No, I don't wanna
like
get close to it.
Small nipple and not
I don't
want to
be close to it.
Alt text.
I love that Sam brought that up. I'm like, yeah, no, that's me. I have
Wow.
one. My brother has one on the other side.
That's
It's
so
freaking
cool.
hilarious.
It's probably just
You guys
a
are
mole.
symmetrical.
I'm a mutant.
It's probably just a mole.
Apparently, it's a birthmark.
It's a mole, right? It's not
Nope,
a nipple.
it's a
Don't say
nipple. I mean, it's not like functional as far as I'm aware.
Functional?
Squeeze it before.
Yeah, wait.
I mean, you know, kids growing up. Wow.
Would you drink human cheese or human milk?
Oh.
Like if someone's like, oh, it's a human milkshake.
So I have my cousin
milkshake.
and his wife love them both. He's tried it and he said it's very sweet because they had a baby within the past year, and he said it's very sweet. And he's like, it kind of makes sense that people are like, why do humans drink cow's milk? Because humans are only meant to drink human milk, and then that's that.
You know?
If you
It's a
get
valid
one
Something to think
point.
about. And now here we
Hold
are
on.
milking almonds and
You're on
and
a cooking show.
oats.
We're on a cooking show. They give you 1 quart of human milk. What do you make to impress the judges?
cheesecake.
Ew. Sam, what are you making?
What is creme brulee made out of?
Definitely, you can definitely use that for that.
Okay, cool. I want to make something
As
like
if I
fancy
know
and
like,
elegant.
exactly how to make
All-
creme brulee. I'm like,
all
oh
I-
yeah, that checks off.
All I know about creme brulee is the blowtorch at the end where they like, do the thing.
Lonnie, what would you make?
Or
Yeah.
a cookies and cream milkshake.
Fine.
I'm throwing up.
That's fair.
I'm vomiting.
That's great.
I'm gonna vomit.
I'm making it and then throwing up.
Yeah, I'm making. I'm like, all right. They're like, all right, go ahead and take a bite. I'll just get like one of those fat straws that like you
The
can
boba
like,
straws?
Yeah, one of the boba straws so you can get the cookies through the straw too. And I'm gonna take the biggest slurp and make.
And then puke right
And
back
then
into the
immediately.
You guys know King Chris on Instagram and
Yeah,
TikTok?
yeah.
He makes all the anime content. He drinks like the different anime characters' milk in his skits. What? It sounds very much like that. Shout out to King Christian. He's awesome.
That sounds disgusting.
I don't know. I'm into that weird anime style stuff, so
Every time you're on,
take that as you take that as you
every
will.
episode, I'm like, who's the last person who said that? I'm
Yeah.
like, it was Jennings. It was Jennings. I love
It
that.
always comes back to Jennings.
I since the first episode that I was on, I now have a girlfriend, so that's a crazy time jump.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We were sitting in Florida with some of my like childhood best friends. And we're just joking and talking about like the weird stuff that we're into, and I dropped the line of like, yeah, no, I'm in. I guess it was the kind of
Am I
first
gonna have to censor
conversation.
that?
I
Am
don't
gonna
think
have
so.
to
I feel like
censor
it's
I think
not
the word
a.
hentai itself is okay.
I don't know if the word itself is okay.
But we were just talking about the different things and weird things that we've found and watched, and I think it was the first time she had heard this kind of level of weird things. My girlfriend, and she started going, babe. I'm like, and every all the other friends are like, yeah, no, this is like normal.
Yeah. It's like, no, hey, listen. Oh no.
And I
Wait.
was like, babe,
That
we
was
watched
really.
one-
She was surprised.
Yeah.
Dog.
But it
That's,
wasn't
I feel
like
so
bad
bad.
surprise. It was more so like, this is the first time you're bringing it up in front of a group of people, which she knew that obviously like these are my best friends. and
No.
she
Cause
knew.
see. Okay, so me and Jennings'
was very
girlfriend. Jennings
funny.
was out of town. Me and my friend were going to the museum, and Jennings was out of town. I'm like, oh, I should ask his girlfriend if she wants to come along with us. That way, she's not just like sitting in her house by herself.
That was super appreciated by both of us, by the way.
Well, yeah, the whole way there, me and him were talking crazy. It was me and Jeevan.
Oh no!
And Jeevan is an incel. So not actually. He's smart and a genuine person, but his favorite cosplay is incel, because it's ridiculous. And so we were just saying some crazy stuff, and she was silent in the back of the car. Ooh. And then I'm like, I didn't really check to see like the level of chill that she is. Like, is she like, oh yeah, me too, guys. Listen, if a guy says to me, I'm gonna chop his, whatever. I didn't even check, and so I don't know what we were saying. It was unhinged. That's for certain. I don't want to try to remember, because if I do and say it here, this will get banned. But we were just having a jolly old time, and if she was concerned about that, then she was definitely high key concerned. Or
Did
whatever
she mention anything about that?
No, she was just quiet. So that's why I'm even more concerned.
No.
Oh, okay.
And I know that she was 100% chill with it, because I brought it up later. And I was like, hey, did any of that bug you? She goes, no, like I'm cool with weird stuff. I just didn't know if that was like a normal conversation that y'all had. So that's why I was like kind of checking, like, are you talking about this now?
Yeah.
And no, so she's way cool. Let me just shout this out real quick. All relationships need to have good communication. When I tell you all, like, everyone has different preferences, everyone has different perspectives. If you enjoy watching the P to the O to the R to the N, have that conversation with your significant other. It could be a very fun thing to do with each other. Y'all might both be super cool with y'all doing it individually by yourselves, whatever. But she's super, super down with, like, she'd rather me watch
from Archer.
Watch that stuff and have a good time on my lonesome than go cheat. And I'm like, I love you. She goes, and I also watch it too. I'm like, freaking high five, dude.
Yeah, I was about to say,
have that conversation with people, because that can be a very like cool thing to talk about in your relationship.
Also,
no, speak your truth, sis. Come on.
No, I'm like, hey, healthy boundaries in every direction. Actually, Zach talked about that. He was like, because a lot of our friends have different perspectives on the whole thing too.
Yeah.
But like Zach, I asked my friend Zach, who we're gonna have on here sometime. Zach is a fiend, wonderful
Shout
human.
out Zach.
And a fiend in every which way. I trust him with my life. But I was like, Zach, what are you gonna like teach your kids in relation to like life and sexuality? He's like, balance. He's like, balance and balance. And I think he said like healthy balance or something like that. Because I'm like, how much is too much, man? Because I'm all for like, let the freak flag fly and do your thing. But how do you find like the balances? Like how do you find the that's what he said. Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, moderation sounds smart, but
yeah, because I remember I think we were at VidCon. We were like a group dinner or something like that. And he mentioned something like that too. And I don't know if that was when you asked that particular question. But yeah, he was like, yeah, I think something that I wish I knew growing up was to balance. Because, my parents were very lax and they just kind of let me do whatever I want. And I went into the deep end, very far into the deep end with no regard restraint. For balance. Yeah.
No restraint. Speaking of balance, I just shifted in my chair and I remembered I have a pimple on my butt. And it hurts so bad.
Very unfortunate.
It makes me want to sleep for 2 days so I don't have to feel it.
Oh.
Because when I move, it's like on my inner butt cheek. And it's like near the gooch. And it's just like if I walk, I feel it. And how are you supposed to get rid of that? What are you supposed to do?
Put it in the comments, your best home remedies for
an inner butt pimple.
Yeah.
I think it's
not any pimple, just an inner butt.
I think you
pimple.
just phone a friend.
Phone a friend to do what? To show them?
What?
Hopefully they're like a dermatologist or someone professional.
And they do what?
They tell you what's going on.
Well, it's a pimple.
Is it?
Yes. It's an ingrown hair, a pimple or something.
Did you see it?
No, I can't see it.
Have you inspected
do you know?
it? Yeah, exactly.
No,
you have to phone a friend.
I think we're about at time. What did we learn today?
Be transparent, communicate. Honesty is always the best thing, even if it's going to be hard regardless. So be straightforward.
Yeah.
And depending on how you feel about it, give a reason. And it doesn't have to be 1,000 reasons. You can just give the one that makes the most sense to you and just be honest.
Well, you need, say, I think it's nice to communicate. You don't have to give 1,000 reasons. If you've been on 2 1 dates, you can be like, hey, look, it's just not feeling it. Thank you, though. better not to ghost. And I think like one thing I've been realizing too, I usually try to run from discomfort, and I'm not like one of those I don't know what that group is called, or like seek discomfort. I'm not really like out here seeking discomfort on the regular, but I also kind of come to learn that like discomfort is not a sign of you being in a bad place.
Yeah.
You know, just because there is discomfort, it doesn't mean that like you're doing something wrong. Yeah. You know, it's like, oh, I'm uncomfortable in this situation. Take a deep breath and realize, okay, that's okay. It's okay to be uncomfortable here. Like a lot of times growth comes only through discomfort, you know? Yeah. So that's why people say, you know, seek discomfort. But just like if you ever have a hard conversation, it's not necessarily all about trying to make it comfortable. Sometimes it's just like it is uncomfortable, and uncomfortability is okay in life, you know? Whether it's like breaking up with someone you've had a very long and intimate one date with, or a long relationship, however you got to communicate that. The discomfort is not a sign of you being on the wrong path or going the wrong way. It might legitimately just be part of a growth process or a process of getting somewhere new. There's a bit of discomfort associated with that, and that's okay. I think that's what I would say.
Also, seeking help is good, whether it be professional or your inner circle of friends or family that you feel comfortable talking to bounce ideas off of, to bounce your thoughts off of, because you might realize something new or something that's helpful before having that conversation with that individual. Or if you're into multiple individuals, you know, having that conversation. So, and also take everyone's opinion with a grain of salt. Maybe it'll be super helpful, maybe it won't, but it might help you to find where you want to really have that discussion from.
I guess if you take people's opinions and whatnot, then I try to aim for people who I want to be like, or like, oh, you have what I like. I'm gonna listen to you. Why listen to people? You guys are probably smart enough, I'm sure. Also, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. Make sure you leave a review on Spotify and on YouTube. We have a new YouTube channel. It is going to be linked in the description here, or maybe you're watching it on the channel. I'll add more information. But it's the IIV League Podcast on YouTube now. Lots of shorts, lots of videos, all that stuff. Sorry, just remember that. Sam.
Huh?
Sam, what did you learn? What
I didn't learn anything. Stay toxic. No.
Sam, if you were to be broken up with, how would you want it done?
Me personally, I wouldn't care.
I like the concept of just someone putting a pistol to the back of his head and be like, we're done.
That's okay, because Sam didn't care.
Preferably without me dying.
Sam probably said on video, there we go. See, that's a preference. That's a preference, not dying in the breakup.
Not dying in the breakup. Yeah.
Why don't you have preferences?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think it really matters for me. Because, like, if it's over, it's over. Move on.
Where does that come from?
Have
you ever been in therapy before?
Outside of, like, my friends, no.
Do you want to?
Not really.
Jennings, let's do therapy on Sam.
We can do that. We can therapize.
I feel like they're going to, like, hog tie me. And
I think that should be a whole separate
episode.
No. Right. Put the child locks on real quick.
Yeah.
All right, the next episode is going to be therapy for Sam.
Oh, jeez.
That would be so fun.
Oh, man.
Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends. And share in the comments like y'all's opinions and perspectives of these.
Oh, please do, for sure. Or jump in the Discord. There's a chat. I'd love to hear what you guys think. And yeah, we thank you for joining us on this CarCast, the IIV League podcast. We are out at Santa Monica. It is beautiful. Still overcast. A seagull flies overhead, longing for the life.
A car to poop on.
Okay, that too. Car to poop on. And I love you guys.
Deuces, gooses.
Deuces, gooses, and mimosas.
What?